Hey y'all, so I wanted to make a YouTube video and kind of give like an update on everything that I'm learning right now. So I kind of talked about it a little bit on live earlier whenever I was at work, as far as like the things that are coming up for me right now that I feel like I'm working through. Huge one that I've identified recently is that I used to feel like I have to perform in order to feel safe in whatever environment I was in or try to control the environment. So like for example, if I go to work, then I felt like I'd have to be overly bubbly, good morning to everybody, like hi, like make sure everybody else was, like in a good mood, or make sure that nobody's mad at me or whatever the case may be, in order to make sure like that I'm good or that I'm safe. And I realized that this is something that like stemmed from whenever I was a child, my childhood home. Then it would be like, if I had a neutral face or just like neutral attitude, then it's like fix your face, or you got until we get to this green light to put a smile on your face, or what are you walking around the house like that for? Or what do you got an attitude for? Or what, like even if I was just chilling, if I was like, no, nothing, like nothing's wrong, I'm chilling, like, then it would get taken as disrespect, or it would in turn get me in trouble, right? Our nervous systems remember stuff like that, and it tries to apply that into things outside of our childhood home. So now at work, I'm thinking the same thing. Like if I have a neutral face on, oh, what's wrong? Or what, I feel like I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. It sounds stupid, like, just hearing it like that, but it's real life, like how my nervous system was programmed at that time. So that's something that I'm having to go back and reprogram. So today was the first day that I went to work, and I told myself that my intention before is going to be to go in there and conserve my energy for myself, like not go in and not, because doing all of that and trying to make sure my environment is good so I could feel safe, that's me wasting my energy. That's a leak. That's somewhere that my energy is leaking out that it doesn't have to. Me being overly, overextending, overgiving, that's leaking my energy, so I'm coming home after work, even though there's short shifts and I'm tired and I'm, my social battery is done. I realized that I was performing to the point of exhaustion pretty much. So something needs to change. So today I went in with the intention of like, I'm gonna be chill, I'm not gonna overgive or overdo my part or anything like that. And I have to keep reminding myself like I'm not gonna get in trouble. Like, I have to prove to my nervous system, I have to prove to my inner child that this is safe. It is safe for me to be regulated wherever I'm at, So that's really the main thing that I've been learning. Also, I've been incorporating a lot of like new coping mechanisms. So for example, like today before going into work, like all last night, I was so anxious. Like I threw up last night. It was so much anxiety. And I was looking up like different ways that I could kind of reprogram my mind, because what I learned is that anxiety and excitement, they're the same exact feeling in the body. It's just our mind filters them to go one way or another, basically. So what I've been doing is, as soon as I start feeling the feeling of anxiety, is not fight it, because if I try to fight it or tense up my body, it makes it so much worse, and it makes me feel like stuck, like anxiety paralysis, basically. So what I've been doing is I like relax my shoulders, relax my jaw, and take a deep breath, and I'll count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'll think of something that makes me super excited. So in this instance, it's my baby. I'll think about my baby, right? And I'll just imagine a picture of her, and then that feeling, I'm like, oh yeah, like my brain's like, oh, she's excited. So then it feels a little bit different. It feels like excitement. It doesn't feel like pins and needles. It just feels like butterflies in my stomach. So there's basically like a certain amount of feelings that we could feel, right? And fear, anxiety, that's like one of the lowest vibrations that we can feel on earth, right? And so with knowing that all these emotions come and go like waves, right? It's not so much about fighting the feeling, because if you notice, once you start getting tense and you start fighting the anxiety, it starts feeling worse. It starts feeling like freaking out, like what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And it just right? But it's like, we know that these emotions, it's not the first time we're going to feel it. It's not going to be the last. So it's more so just being able to feel in our bodies whenever it's first starting to come on, so we can start inserting those coping mechanisms a lot earlier and go through those emotional waves a lot smoother, because the waves are going to come. It's inevitable, right? Like there's things that we're going to get anxious about, because anxious is just the fear of not knowing how something is going to turn out. And that's life. That's the whole point, right? Is to not know. That's part of the beauty and stuff, really, is to really not know how stuff is going to turn out. So recently I've been, trying not to run away, because I was a huge avoidant and I would just retreat and hibernate whenever I felt like emotions were getting big again. And then I would go back out into the world, and it doesn't work like that. Now it's more so me learning how to allow these emotions to pass, and also what things I can implement, what tools and skills I have now that I didn't have before that I can implement. And a huge part of that too is self-trust, bro. Like being able to get my inner child to know that she could trust me, that I could trust myself, bro, that I got myself, like, no matter what situation I'm in, no matter what environment I'm in, like I trust myself to keep myself and my nervous system safe. I feel like that's what I've been working on recently. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, just breathe and then just count and then just, yes, those coping mechanisms help a lot. And I'm also not going to take away from the fact that these are very real feelings, bro. The feeling, they suck. All right. They suck. It sucks feeling anxious. It sucks feeling, but bro, we got to be real. Like these things are things that we're going to constantly feel. So why not just learn the tools? And it's going to take work in order to gain those skills, in order to learn those tools, but I rather put that work in now than just forever fight the feeling and forever have it feel that heavy on me. Like we can control and regulate our nervous system to where we can start flowing with the waves. And it's just, oh, I recognize that feeling. I know what to do whenever I feel that way. Let me regulate, rebalance, and recenter. That's pretty much what it is, bro. I know a lot of people recently with the Pluto retrograde going on, a lot of people are feeling all types of ways. I know I'm not the only one that's learning these things, or feeling these feelings, or having these patterns come up, but I'm interested to know what stuff has been coming up for y'all. What patterns do y'all feel like y'all are recognizing, or how have y'all's bodies been feeling? I know a lot of people have been going through like ascension symptoms, so feeling super hungry or no appetite at all, headaches, vomiting, etc. But yeah, let me know how y'all are feeling. What have y'all been learning? What do y'all got going on, bro? Tell me in the comments. Let me know what's up with y'all, and I'd love to know, and how y'all are working through everything. But thank y'all so much for watching, bro. I love y'all so much, and just know whatever y'all are experiencing, bro, y'all are not alone. I'm always gonna be there with y'all in spirit. I love y'all so much, and I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. Bye.